The Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Atlanta refs? Really, what's overly new? Steelers fan got to fight not only the other team, the opposition, and the refs.
Here we go, Steelers! Here we go!
G'day, guys. Welcome back to Steelers Nation Australia. My local time of almost 10 p.m. So it's been a massive day. I woke up today at 3 a.m. to watch the very first game, Steelers versus Falcons. In this episode, though, I just want to focus on how much adversity the Steelers have to face, and mainly one pinpoint focal look is probably TJ Watt. TJ Watt gets held in every play. And also, shout out to Chris Boswell, MVP. We won 18-10 because we went down the field and scored field goals. He's an unbelievable player. The Legend of Boz, the Wizard of Boz, he's unreal. But focusing back to TJ Watt, he gets held in every play. Now, when I was watching this game live with over 55, I think people in the chat, there's also sometimes a sense of, is this game rigged? Is there certain parts where there are flags being thrown? We saw the big pass to Justin Fields. This one here, Justin Fields to George Pickens, where Nick Farabaugh says Steelers hit a big play to George Pickens, but he gets nailed for offensive pass interference, goes from a big play to now a Steelers punt. Did he push off? Did he extend his arms fully like that and push off? Or was it just like, receiver, cornerback fighting for a position and a good play? Now, when you see it live, you're like, man, it's a fantastic play. You're like, the whole momentum is shifting and turning around. You thought George Pickens and Justin Fields, an awesome play. Flag comes out, you go back, you go, refs, hang on, what are you trying to do, right? Then you start talking, and I've seen now highlights of the game. I haven't seen the full game just yet. I've been very busy doing a lot of things. Went down to the Windows pub, had a few sherbets, celebrate. I've been on Twitter. I've been texting everyone on Twitter because this. Out of all the teams, the Steelers are 1-0, the Baltimore Ravens 0-1, the Cincinnati Bengals 0-1, the Cleveland Browns 0-1. I've been very busy on Twitter, just calling everyone out, and it's going to be a very, 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 very fun AFC North roundtable, and a very fun week too. We need to celebrate this win. Now, one of the comments in my live stream said, and it's not too against you, mate, but it said, "Oh, the Steelers were lucky to win this." Well, in some sense, we might be lucky because I think the refs controlled this game. There was a certain parts of the game where you're thinking, okay, was TJ Watt offside? He timed the snap. As soon as the ball was snapped, he was in the backfield. It looks like he was offside. Now you go around, watch any videos. I can't show the video here, but in this play here, was TJ Watt offside? I circled it. The ball has been snapped. I freeze framed it, and TJ Watt is leaving the same time the ball being snapped. Real time, it looked okay. Real time, ball snapped, and TJ Watt's in the backfield, runs around his defender, swim move, gets to Kirk Cousins. I think it was a fumble, and then maybe a recovery. Yeah, recovery as well. And then next minute, we got the ball back. But the refs do what they do, and they rig games. They put the Steelers under pressure. They give the Falcons a chance. Really, it should have been 18-0, 18-3, because after that play, when TJ Watt got around the corner, and it was called for offside, he got around the corner, 20 yards out, fumble recovery, ball back. They went on to score. It was an easy score to the end zone, and the Falcons went up. Here's one really thing that should grind your gears. Not just mine, but yours at home. Because now, according to, we've got a source here in an article, according to Steelers Now and other Twitter posts out there, the officials have admitted to TJ Watt he messed it up on the offsides flag or penalty. So you're telling me that he got it wrong. He knows he got it wrong, and that could have been a reason why we lost. And we go from 1-0 to 0-1, and everyone starts laughing at us again. Everyone puts pressure on Mike Tomlin and all those things. Like that's one call that was bad to add to a very long list in this game. George Pickens, a bad call. TJ Watt there was no holding calls to TJ. It's really easy to come out and say, I admit that I was wrong after the fact. But the refs need to do better. And there are certain times in this game, in the NFL, where you think, is it rigged to a certain degree? And you're like, hang on. I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining that we didn't get the. I'm not complaining that I love that we won. I think it's fantastic that we won, that the Steelers beat the Falcons, and they played really good football, a very physical team. They run the ball well. Kirk Cousins was finding some plays here and there, but the second half, they shut them down. All right. Good physical side, good physical football in that sense. I'm just saying, I feel like sometimes the Steelers have to verse not only the team and the referees on the other side. Because when you come out, and that pretty much it summarized my point. If the official is admitting it, that TJ Watt said that this official said he messed it up, that this official said he stuffed up on the offsides penalty, you can't go back and restart the game. You can't go back and say give him a chance and get the fumble back. The refs need to do a lot better, right? And I can't show the video here, but he got right around the right tackle, around the corner, swim move, right towards Kirk Cousins in the backfield, and got the sack, fumble, and forced recovery, and the whole momentum changed. So, but how many times have we not seen this over the last 4 or 5, maybe, I don't know, 6 years? Going back to it's stuffed up. Going back to, there was a time when you had the Steelers versus Saints, and Joe Hayden was called for pass interference. It was a few years ago. I don't know which one it was. I think it was Joe Hayden or Minka was called for offside on the field goal block, and it wasn't. There's so many times where the refs just completely stuff it up, and it's becoming overly frustrated as a fan. And I don't blame some fans now if they give up on the NFL. They say, you know what, I'm done. I don't want to watch it. It's too much for me. I need my sanity back. I need my life back. Because they do put you through a roller coaster of emotions and a ride when you follow this team. And yeah, you can get some things wrong, but it becomes a pattern. And the pattern was in this game for TJ Watt was not getting holding calls. There was another one, I think it was like 50-50 play though. TJ Watt got the sack, but there was a hands to the face, I think, on the receiver and cornerback. Now, I'm okay with that call. It's 50-50 to me, right? But the George Pickens push off, and I'm going to talk about one more near the end. George Pickens push off was terrible. TJ Watt offside, terrible. Those calls, they make the game. Because the minute you give them the call, it's a 1st and 15, it's a new set of downs, and they go and score more points, and then next minute you're in really bad trouble, or you could be in a chance to lose the whole game, right? But I want to leave one to the very end, and I saw my comment in the live chat. I went back and watched it. Ryan we were all talking about the punter, and hopefully Cameron Johnston is okay. We don't know just yet his health update injury. Hopefully he's okay. His leg went backwards, wasn't good. But I found that call to be really intriguing as well. The fact that the player landed on his leg, and when he landed on his leg, the opposite, we got the flag. Miles Killebrew got a flag for holding, right? But my good mate Ryan in the chat did say that, and this could be 50-50, and maybe we're very emotional at the time. Could be 50-50. He said that Killebrew held him and kind of threw him into the kicker. Now, at the very same time, I was so emotional and fired up, saying, "They're angry bird, they're a dirty bird, they're a bad player." Now, I have to go back and watch it. Hopefully, with the intent, there is zero intent from the Falcons player to injure someone. I don't think that's going to happen. So, emotionally speaking, it was a wild ride. Hopefully that Cameron Johnson is not a season-ending injury. But even that time, when that happened, I thought the flag was going to go our direction, and it didn't. And it makes you think, if you run into the kicker and he gets hurt, right? Shouldn't that have been our flag for 15 yards or 5 yards, what it may be? I don't know. But overall, we've won the game now, so it's kind of move on. Hopefully we'll forget about it. But I do wish Cameron Johnson well in terms of punting and coming back in health, because we don't know what's going to happen. He's signed a 3-year contract. He was punting really good. So hopefully we find out news very shortly about that. But going back to this TJ Watt thing, and on this play too, to us, so I can summarize. When TJ Watt was called offside, right? He was in the backfield all day. I was talking about Chris Boswell's MVP. I want to try and do a thing if I can every week or so, and I'll do a better job today or tomorrow. Is label the MVPs for the Steelers and maybe take a count, and also do like a 3-star thing where I go 3 stars, 2 stars, 1 star. So have an overall MVP of the game who was the best player on the field, and then have like 3-star, 2-star, 1 star. Keep a count, and at the very end of the season, I see who's the winner of like HDU awards or whatever. We'll do some awards every now and then. But in terms of that, TJ Watt was in the backfield all day, getting held, causing havoc. And in this scenario, when you see something like that he runs around the right tackle, he swim moves and gets back to Kirk Cousins, he's on the ground and fumble, and it's really exciting play, and it's one of those big momentum shifting plays. Then you see the flag come out. That's when I think people start to figure out and go, hang on, are they trying to keep them in the game? Because when they threw the flag and they gave them a chance, they end up scoring a touchdown. And summarizing back to this, to make my final point, is the official admitted to TJ Watt that he messed up. So TJ Watt makes a huge play, makes a massive play, right? Fumble, recovery, flag comes out. They then score a TD, and then a few hours later, it's all fine and dandy in referee land. Official admitted TJ Watt that he messed up on the offside penalty. And then what do? We just forget about it? We just move on? You know what I mean? Is there no action? Is there no action towards the ref? Is there no action where I know you can't get points for the Steelers, you can't get extra points next, you can't start 2 points next week versus the Broncos, but is there no action on the referee? Does he not get banned or fined? The players get fined for helmet to helmet. The players get all kinds of things like drug tested, all those kind of things. Players get thrown around the shop all over. In this scenario, it was a brilliant play, momentum-changing play. Steeler Nation, over 65% of people there were waving a terrible towel, right? Going crazy. TJ Watt gets the sack and the fumble, thinking, oh, okay, we have a really good chance to win this game. We got the ball back. Then it all changes because one yellow flag comes out and it's all changed. And then the next minute, they score a TD, and it's like, man, how do we overcome not only the Falcons and also how do we not only overcome the refs? But it's okay because this guy here, or whoever the ref was, the official, admitted to TJ Watt that he messed up. And now it's fine. Legit. Now it feels like, oh, he messed up. I made it bad. But there's nothing behind that. Do you know what I'm saying? I'll let you guys talk about that and think about that over the next week. What should happen to the ref? Should there be any consequences to his actions that the play was unbelievable? You all saw it. Is there any consequences to his actions? The fact that you can just go, okay, I admit to TJ Watt, I messed up. What's next? All right. Anyways, I do want to end with this though too. We had TJ Watt had a really good quote here. It's from Steelers Depot. Tweet this out. It said TJ Watt on Atlanta takeover by Yins. Says here, this is TJ Watt, by the way. TJ Watt said this in an interview. TJ Watt says, Steelers Nation, he's incredible, man. It's extremely demoralizing for an offense to be on the silent count at their own home field. Silent count is incredible. Honestly, a lot of those plays go to them. The fumble that I was able to land on was because they had to be on a silent count at their own place. Anytime that happens when you have a lot of shifts and motion, snaps and go anywhere, balls on the ground, you get to recover them. So Steelers Nation was absolutely incredible, but I'm not surprised. Shout out to you, man. If you're at the game, and shout out to Steelers Nation, we are massive, right? And we'll count it out. We will count it out big time. You in the off season, if you're in any chat or comments or podcasts for another team, we'll count it out. And the main victors this week is week 1 standings. The Pittsburgh Steelers own the AFC North, and the Baltimore Ravens lost. Bengals lost to the Patriots, and the Browns got shellacked, absolutely torn apart by the Cowboys. So when TJ Watt says that, there are terrible towels, black and gold terrible towels all over Atlanta, right? Some people say, oh, the Steelers fans travel very well. They travel well, but at the same time, the Pittsburgh Steeler fans, they live in certain places. Like myself, I live here in Australia. There's people in New Zealand. There's Mexico. There's Argentina. There's Japan, wherever. There's people all over, fans all over Pittsburgh, Miami, the West Coast, Arizona, Dallas, wherever, Texas. There's fans everywhere, and they showed up in Atlanta because that's where they live or they travel there. So a big shout out to Steeler Nation all over the shop. TJ Watt loves you guys. Steeler Nation are incredible, and he says had to put them on the silent count, and nothing better than going into their house and beating the Falcons, who are pretty. I think they're a pretty good team. They have a chance. The Falcons can win 7, 8, 9 games. They'll bounce back. The Bucks had a really good win today too, so they're like winning their division. Baker Mayfield was crazy today. He had 4 TDs, but I'm not like people might say, "Oh my God, wait on a minute, the Steelers only beat the Falcons." Only the Falcons. They played some tough football, and the Pittsburgh Steelers had to beat the Falcons, and they had to beat the refs. Alrighty, Steeler Nation. On that note, I'm out of here. And yes, one more thingo. Do not mess with the terrible towel.